What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. This video is also brought to you by two things. Since we don't do any sponsorships here on the channel, I'll go ahead and show them out real quick. The first is my music, which is available anywhere you stream music under the name Aftersound. And the second is a new podcast I just launched on my YouTube music channel called Chasing Infinity. It is myself and ChatGPT as my AI co-host, and we dive into a wide range of topics. So check it out. Links in the description below, and I appreciate the support. Okay, guys, let's jump into the topic of today's video, which is how can we fund the DAO from land? So right now there is a proposal to essentially give Cryptomancer, or essentially take on Cryptomancer's salary from the DAO. We've talked about it at length. So whether you're for it or against it, doesn't matter. I mean, we'll see where things go. Let's say this does pass, though. How can land actually become an asset that benefits the DAO in the long run? And my thought is this. Now, we have a system that taxes and burns in land, like 10% of the amount. Well, actually, 10% is incorrect. We have a system that taxes and burns essentially any of the resources produced in land, right? So right now, it's research, SPS, and grain. And my thought process is, at the very least, maybe we shouldn't be burning that SPS and redirecting it to the DAO instead to fund future rewards. Therefore, land and everything that land is doing is something that the DAO can benefit from in the future. Now, here's the thing. You could extend this to any and all resources, right? So taking that burn of whatever it is. Now, here's how it works for people that may not understand. Right now, anytime you produce something on land, there is a 10% tax. Of that tax, a keep in that land can, I think, earn up to 5% of that burn, right? So out of the 10%, and then a castle can earn up to 2% of that burn, meaning that at the very minimum, right? Let's say the keep and the castle max out what they're collecting. At the very minimum, 3% of everything is burned. Probably more than that, but at this point in time, 3% of everything is getting burned when it comes to land resources. So I'm trying to say, let's take that 3+%, right, whatever it ends up being around, and redirecting it to the DAO so that the DAO has more assets in it, and therefore land, if it's being, if we're taking on Cryptomancer's salary to produce land ends up benefiting the DAO in the long run, right? Now, again, I'm saying at the very least, let's take SPS, because the DAO can and will use SPS in the future to continue funding rewards and can essentially recycle that SPS as a reward. When it comes to other resources, right now we have grain, but in the future it could be wood, stone, or iron, whatever it ends up being, right? I don't know necessarily what the DAO would do with that. I don't know that the DAO sitting on that would be a fantastic thing. But if we're looking for areas in which the DAO can actually have some tangible benefit, maybe it's not a bad thing to redirect it to the DAO. So again, I'm not making the argument for everything, but if you do offer it for everything, then the DAO really benefits from any and all success that land has in the future. So again, all I'm trying to do is say, like, we're probably going to end up taking on Cryptomancer's salary for the DAO. So as SPS stakeholders, as the people who are essentially running the DAO right now, or at least we're voting as to the direction of the DAO, here's a way in which land could turn around and benefit the DAO in the short, medium, and long run. Right? We get immediate things from this. And at the very least, if it's just SPS, that extends rewards for a decent amount of time. Now, how much is that? I mean, 3% of the overall reward pool isn't much, but the idea is that we're extending the runway in the long run. And if there's a point in time at which SPS gets removed from land, which I think is maybe within Matt's vision in the long run, just that land has its own sustainability and everything, right? Then we can talk about other rewards in the future. If people want to have that conversation to do all rewards, I mean, that's a lot of assets the DAO ends up sitting on, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing if we're trying to accumulate value in the DAO, but it's just something to consider, right? For me, the only push that I'm making at a very minimum level is for the DAO to start retaining or start collecting some of that SPS that would have been burned on land, which is just 3%. And to me, that doesn't have a bad, let me put it this way. it's not impacting the game economy in a negative way directly, right? And what I mean by that is we are not seeing that SPS hit the marketplace at any point, right? Either it gets burned, which is great for the long run, or it gets locked up in the DAO, at which point we all have to vote to do something with it. But we're trying to find ways to fund the DAO in the long run. And this is one of those ways in which I think we could actually have land be this continuous thing where any and all people that are going for land, it's kind of just getting recycled, right? Ultimately, this SPS is coming from the DAO, so it's just recollecting 3%. But at the very least, what we're trying to do is find benefits for the DAO from land if the DAO is going to be taking on the salary for the developer that is working on land. So I know it's kind of cyclical. It might be a little confusing, but that's what I'm trying to propose, not as an actual proposal, but I'm just putting the idea out there for folks to think about as we contend with this proposal, which will be going live very soon. It's still in pre-proposal phase, but it looks like there's a good chance it'll pass. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Again, I'm open to any and all ideas on how we can do this. This is just one area in which I want to focus on SPS. But again, if it gets extended to the other areas within the game or other resources within the game, both now and in the future, I wouldn't be opposed to it either. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. That is all I have for you guys in this video. Otherwise, I'll catch you all in the next one and see you around the game. Take care.